Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the MTB Gear Girl channel. Today we are riding the Trek Rail 7. This is a 2022. This is their alloy frame. Trek has quite a few different options for e-bikes. The Rail is kind of their slash e-bike, so this is going to be kind of a slacker, longer travel e-bike. They also have an E-Caliber, which is more their cross country if you're not into like the big suspension. This bike's coming in right around about $6,600. So it still has the Bosch motor, which I think is a great motor. It's a 650, I believe, watt-hour battery. Trek does make batteries with 750 watt-hours, so it'll last you a little bit longer if that's something you're looking for. Their kind of upper models will give you that. All right, why don't you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It's gonna be some good content. Quick specs on it. I'm on a size medium. I'm about 5'6", so usually ride a medium bike, and this one feels great. Up front we have a Domain RockShox fork. It's a 160 millimeters, and out back we have a 150 millimeter RockShox rear suspension. For this bike we have a whole Shimano setup with brakes. Drivetrain is SLX, the derailers and XT. I feel like with e-bikes, there's always just so much power going into these back tires. I've been on e-bikes where the drivetrain struggles to keep up a little bit, but this drivetrain's felt great. I've been able to shift as I need to, and I feel like it's handled the power really well. There's 4 options for settings. You have Eco, Tour, EMTB, and Turbo. I typically stay in the EMTB one. That's kind of, they call it the intelligent kind of mountain bike option, so it kind of puts in what you put out. So right now I'm kind of just going pretty easy, but if I start to kick it in gear, you can hear it. It starts to keep up with me, so it's not going to be like a turbo where it's just constant going. It's supposed to help around turns, tight switchbacks. You know, if you at a spot where you need to kind of stop and pick your line, it's not going to like lurch forward when you start pedaling. It kind of eases into it a little bit, makes it a little easier to stop and start. So I've really liked the EMTB. All right, starting it down. Honestly, first impressions are it's actually pretty poppy. pretty manageable down. I don't feel on this trail at least like it's too big or bulky. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, I'm 135 pounds and this bike weighs 52 pounds. So it's definitely not light. But as I'm doing some of these, I mean, I'm not doing like gigantic jumps right now. But just, you know, little kickers here and there on the trail, and I feel like it's pretty poppy and fun to get in the air a little bit. Man, that suspension is just, it's so much. Definitely don't feel like you need more. It feels pretty bottomless. These brakes feel good. I mean, with a 50-pound bike, you need a little bit of stopping power, and These Shimano brakes are doing pretty good. Woo! Man, that's fun. All right. Man, that downhill was awesome. That was so fun. I mean, there were a few times on like bigger jumps where maybe need a little more speed. I could feel that it was a bigger bike, but man, just going down the trail normal is just felt awesome. Gotta go back to the car so I don't get rained on, and I'm really hungry. Oh my goodness. All right, here's where we're gonna get our fill for kind of some tight maneuvering, see how this does around some tighter corners, a little bit more single track. I feel like I might have to work a little bit harder getting this thing around corners, but for adding like, you know, 20 pounds onto your average bike, it really isn't bad. Get a feel for the sound. I know e-bikes with these batteries on them kind of definitely make more noise on the down. Holy cow, turkeys. Ran into these guys the other day. All right, post-ride thoughts. Here we go. Really impressed with the bike, specifically on the downhill. Incredibly happy with how poppy it is, like, and the suspension, of course, is like just amazing. Just there's so much there. It kind of just feels bottomless, which is great. Motor-wise was awesome. It's easy to switch in between the different options. I really like the EMTB mode. It just kind of lets you cruise, I guess, but like if you want to go fast, and just crank it up and it'll go there right with you. So drivetrain overall really good. Like I said, I've ridden e-bikes before where you try and change a gear and it feels like your back tire is about to fall off. Definitely did not get that feeling with this. Brakes had great stopping power, super smooth. Just really enjoyed it. I'm excited to keep riding on this thing. All right, I just went about 13.5 miles on that ride, and my battery is down 2. I don't know if it was completely charged fully when I grabbed it, but I think you could definitely do easily probably another 15. You could get probably a good 30-mile ride in on this thing. So definitely a great bike to ride if you're looking for a sweet e-bike. All right, there's a few things I wanted to show you off the bike real quick regarding the battery. There's a few different ways you can charge it. One is just by plugging it straight into the bike right here. The other option is it comes with a couple different keys, and you can just stick the key in up here and twist, and it'll pop out on the side.
And then you just plug it in on the bottom right there. So if you want to take it inside or anything, you could totally do that.